right, so my buddy Earl, Hillbilly Beekeeper, has been talking about this peppermint, and to be honest with you, I did it. I used the peppermint starlights, or whatever you want to call them, the little candies, and I did notice a reduction in hive beetles in the colonies that I put those in. So I'm expanding the test. I've got some pure peppermint extract that you can, I ordered this from Amazon. I got the pint. And what hopefully, the intention of this video is to make some pollen patties and run a test, half with peppermint and half without. So stay tuned, and please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see over a duration how the peppermint does deterring hive beetles, specifically laying larvae into the patty itself. So, you know, that's a problem down here in South Carolina. So stay with it, follow the series, and we'll see you soon. All right, so I had to come in the house to do this because it's cold outside today, and my hose was frozen up. So got the old drill out. We're gonna start making a mess. No, we're gonna start making the peppermint laden pollen patties to see if it helps with the hive beetles. And so I'm just mixing up some. What I want to do is one big batch of pollen patty, or maybe not big batch, but a batch of pollen patty, so it's all consistent for both sides. And then I'm going to split the pollen patty in the middle, and I'm going to introduce the peppermint to one side, and we're going to try that way everything else is consistent about the patty. I've got a little bit of apple cider vinegar with the mother in it that I always put in my syrup to help from mold and stuff like that. And other than that, everything should be consistent, other than the one batch will have peppermint in it and one won't. So this is basically just 25 pounds of sugar in, you know, 3 gallons or so. The water is not really hot, it's just hot out of the tap, so I'm just trying to get it as mixed as I can, get it consistent. Just put that on there for transport. Yep, wax cappings on top. All right, everyone, I moved the operation outside a little bit, and essentially what I have here is my drill. I got a paddle bit that won't work for mixing the pollen subs, too stiff, so I got one of these mixer bits that I'm going to put on there. I've got remnants of my last bag of Ultra B, so that's what we're going to use instead of before opening my first one. I've got 2 measurable 5-gallon pails, so I'm going to try to get it as even as possible, mix in one, split it in half, and put half in the second bucket. So they're essentially the same. Everything will be the same, with the exception of one will have some concentrated peppermint extract in it, and the other one won't. Got some vegetable oil to mix in the patties, and we're just going to do a small batch to see how it comes out. Let me turn here. So we'll see how it's going. It's a little bit cool. No bees flying today, so good project for today. All right, so if you can tell right here, I got about 1 gallon. There's about 1 gallon of sub in here, so we're gonna see how much this makes by the time you put syrup and everything in it. It's not gonna be a large batch, but we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. I'm just gonna pour some oil in it. I'm not measuring it, not a lot, but just a little bit, and trying to do this all one-handed and GoProing and not using a stand or anything. So gonna do that, and let's see, I got a measuring cup here. So what I typically do is just go ahead and put a little bit, sorry, I gotta pull the cap back off here, a little bit of my, and it's gonna mess up my syrup, but take a little bit of 1 to 1 or whatever concentrate you use. Put that in there, and I'm gonna give that a spin. If I have to get more pollen sub, not a problem, because I can just go get my other bag I have. And let me switch out this bit. All right, we got the bit all passed out. We got our vegetable oil in here. We've got our syrup that I mixed up in the house, and I'm just gonna start blending it up if I have to try to get it to the right consistency. I mean, I'm not an expert pollen patty chef like Cayman is, but I'm gonna try to get there. So we're just gonna, if I have to add more liquid, we add more liquid until we get it to the consistency we want it to. Again, this is for an experiment to, as you can see, it's quite dry, right? This is for an experiment, and you probably can't hear with the drill running. We're doing 2 separate pollen patties out of the same batch. So I'm gonna add peppermint extract to one of them, and one I will not. And then I'll make the pollen patties and see if the peppermint deters the hive beetles from laying in the patty, and also you know, deters hive beetles in the hive in general. So we'll see. All right, so since I'm making this recipe up as I go, I've used about 2.5 of these deals here. So that's 4, about probably 6 pints. I'll just run the rest of that in there. 6 pints. I mean, it's pretty much the consistency I'm looking for. And I'm gonna just start scooping half of this into this other bucket over here. All right, so I've got it all blended up. I got a little bit more in the original mix bucket, which is a little bit by design, because my thought is when I add this extract, it's gonna thin out and I'm gonna have to let it evaporate a little bit. But I got about about a half a gallon of each of these right now. Probably would have been better to do this in smaller buckets, but hey, you use what you got. So the one with the ladle in it has no peppermint in it right now, and this one over here, the original bucket, will be the peppermint bucket. All right, so I've got McCormick Culinary Pure Peppermint Extract. Yeah, it smells just like the candy peppermints that you would get in the store around the holidays or whatever. There is no method to this. I have no idea how much I need to put in or what, so I could be putting too much, could be putting not enough, but we're gonna err to the side of put too much. And I'm just adding some peppermint because I want it blended all in to the patty. And so I just poured some off the top. I'll show you, I don't know, maybe some of you good cooks may know, I just took a little bit off the top, poured it in there, and we're gonna hit it with the drill and get this peppermint extract, try to get it incorporated into the patty. And I won't make you suffer through this whole thing here, but I'll mix it up and then we'll get to the end. All right, so I got this mixed up, and do the taste test. Yeah, definitely pepperminty. Maybe on the side of too pepperminty, but yeah, it's got peppermint in it for sure. So we'll I'm gonna get these packaged up and try to divide them into even patties as I can, and see what happens. All right, so I don't know why my camera's flipped upside down. Hopefully I don't have to do this. So what I decided to do was put some in Ziploc bags and kind of use the Hive Alive process where I just cut a hole out. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't know if the peppermint extract will evaporate off of them, and I just figured I'd make some of these, then I could just cut it open and let them get it from the bottom like the Hive Alive fondant, and that way that also helps prohibit beetles around the side. And I'll do the same on the other pollen patties so they're equal in that aspect. All right, so I've got the peppermint patties all all cleaned out here, and I got them bagged up. I'm gonna try to get them weighed to see how much it came up to. All right, so all these came out to about 4.5 pounds for the peppermint on this side. So, all right, so I'm marking these peppermint patties with a P. So there's no, I wish my people that knew I was filming would be quiet, but just marking these patties with a P, not for patty, but for peppermint. And I'll mark the big bag that I'm going to put them in. And what I will do is go ahead and that way I know exactly if it's got a P on the bag, peppermint. All right, there you go, peppermint bag. Let's see how many we get in here. I think we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I should count these better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 patties. Put them in this bag. All right, so we got the peppermint patties all sealed up, all labeled, ready to go. I'm going to drop them in the freezer, and I'm going to clean up this gear, the spoon and all that, to make sure no peppermint gets introduced to the new patties. All right, so the spoon's all washed. Got the second batch. I'm going to start bagging these up, and this looks like it could be actually a little bit more than the first batch, so we'll see. And I had to switch GoPros because obviously my GoPro battery died. So I got the second batch done. I ended up with one more patty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 patties without. All right, so I've got 2 bags of pollen patties, one with plain and no markings on the patties, and one that's marked peppermint with a P on the bag. I'm just gonna put those in the freezer until I have a chance to put them in the colonies, if I got room in here. I got a lot of homemade pollen patties in my junky porch, and probably fingerprints on the lens and everything else. So I'm gonna take some of these older ones that I made when I first started that are crappy, put them in the freezer there. We're gonna put plain and peppermint, just like that. So let's show you guys. We got plain and peppermint. We're just gonna put them in the freezer and get them ready to go. I've got, what else I've got here? I've got a mess to clean up, obviously, but again, that's was 1-to-1 sugar water, roughly. Probably a little bit more sugar than water. A little bit better than 1-to-1. I used some vegetable oil. Oh, actually, in the 1-to-1, hey, I got a girl flying trying to check out my sugar syrup over here. Let me close that up. But I put in my 1-to-1, I put some little bit of apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, and then I used in the patties, we've just got that Ultra B. I used 1 gallon because I used a 1 gallon measure on there, which ended up being about 10 pounds of patties, roughly 10-11 pounds of patties. And I mixed those together so they would be consistent between the 2 patties, right? So they all had all the same stuff up until the end, where I made a split and split the batch of patties in 2, and then I put peppermint in only one of the buckets. So the idea was that other than the peppermint, everything else in the patty was similar. Now, there was some things that I noticed that were a little bit different. Like, obviously, when you add more liquid to your patty, it's going to be thinner, which is one of the reasons why I put it in the baggie. I did not know if the peppermint extract, the scent and flavor and all that would evaporate out of it if I did it traditional and put it between paper. So I put it in the baggie, and I figure I'll just do the Hive Alive method of either scoring the baggie so they can get at it from the bottom and give it just a smaller area and try to be consistent across everything. But we'll see. This is going to be something we're going to have to follow along to see if main thing here, I'm not too concerned with the regular pollen patties, because regular pollen patties here in South Carolina, we know without a doubt there's going to be hive beetles with that patty, and a lot of times you'll see larvae in the patty when you go out to take a look at them. So the big deterrent for putting it in the patty for me was to keep the beetles off of the patty and keep them from laying larvae in the patty itself. So gonna do that. Hey, and the girls are flying. We can, oh, I can finally show you my demo ray split. So just as a little side note, it's 9,000 feet tall. It's right there. And the bees it's warmed up enough where the bees are starting to fly. And looks like they are okay up there. Now, I'll probably do another one on this other colony back here. Did open a disc up here for a top, and that way the girls can use the back entrance, because there's a queen excluder here and there's a queen excluder down there, and that's keeping them from getting down to the queen at the bottom, at least the drones and all. So I figured that would let the drones out of the back if they chose to. And I don't want to really get stung because it is cool out this morning, and I took a shot to the head yesterday. But you know, there is activity going on out here today, especially from this colony. It's active. That's the one the one on the end down there is probably the one I'm going to do the demo ray on next. This is a nuke that was struggling. I don't know. Yeah, they got bees in there. They're fanning. I don't know if they got a queen. I'm going to have to figure that one out. I'm hoping that the queen cells will come out of the out of that big demo ray over there, that I can pull queen cells for some of these nukes. But to give you an idea, I'm like 6'2", 6'2.5", and this thing's probably at least 6 feet off the ground. So it makes it very tall. That doesn't look very promising this morning from this one, but the sun's not on it fully. There's bees in there. All right, so we're good. So at any rate, that's what I've got going. We'll follow this. Thank you for, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. And we're gonna start trying to do that live stream we've been doing on Tuesday nights. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.